Get ready for success. Leadership Strategies for Women is a show dedicated to providing practical and valuable strategies for emerging women leaders of today. It's your time to get inspired, motivated, and challenged to achieve your vision for success. And now, here's leadership speaker and coach, Ellie Nieves.
This is the Leadership Strategies for Women podcast, and I'm your host, Ellie Nieves. I'm the founder and president of Leadership Strategies for Women, where I develop seminars and webinars to help high-achieving women show up, speak up, and step up in their careers. To learn more, please visit my website at leadershipstrategiesforwomen.com, or you can follow the Leadership Strategies for Women page on Facebook. Here to talk to us today about her recently released book titled The Girl with Self-Esteem Issues is Rosie Mercado. Rosie has been recognized as one of the top 25 most powerful Latinas by People in Español and named one of the top 6 Latinas you should know by Latina magazine. She is a bilingual certified life coach, Latina model, and was a co-host on the talk show Face the Truth, produced by Dr. Phil McGraw. Rosie has experienced amazing success, but her road to success has not been an easy one. Rosie's journey losing 240 pounds as a single mother of 4 has been widely covered in the media, and her amazing story of embracing authentic beauty against all odds has resonated with hundreds of thousands of English and Spanish-speaking women worldwide. Rosie rose above self-esteem issues, used self-strength, and found happiness and success. Rosie, welcome to the Leadership Strategies for Women podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited. What a powerful name. What a powerful name for your podcast. I got to commend you on that. That's like, you listen to that name and it's like, all right, I'm ready to learn. Give me the information. What do I have to do? Show me the way. How are you?
I'm doing fabulous. I am excited to be meeting with you today. You have got such a powerful and amazing story. And I want you to share your story with our listeners today and our viewers.
Thank you. I'm so excited. Launching The Girl with Self-Esteem Issues. It's out. This is like a pride and joy. Like, this is everything manifested. And you know how we tell ourselves stories of our past and we think, oh my God, I can't believe I'm going through this. Like, this is it. Like, that's all that's like ever going to happen. Like, I can't believe it's the end of my life. Like, this is my last chance. I'm never going to get married again. I'm never going to transform my life. Nobody's ever going to love me. I'm never going to be successful at business. Am I ever going to get parenting right? Am I ever going to feel good about my body? Am I ever going to feel good about myself? And this book is really is about walking your own authenticity and not letting those stories that you give failure, failed relationships, failed business, parenting, learning, because there's moments that I failed as a parent and it taught me so many valuable lessons. Why? Because you know, whatever the mind thinks, the body follows. Whatever the mind thinks, then you start making decisions based off of that. So there's so many lessons in that. But I think the biggest one is walking in your own authenticity, not being ashamed of your past, not letting the scale dictate the value of who you are as a woman, not letting past failures in relationships, parenting, divorce, self-esteem, business, like not letting that dictate. Failure is not a bad thing. It means that you're moving. All it is an indicator of what's not working. And if you could just shape your mind around that, if you're failing at business, all it is, hello, this isn't working. It's not a bad thing. And we have to be honest with ourselves and take a look at that and not let that emotion of failing or whatever we give that story hold us from taking the next step, hold us for stepping into our potential, hold us from what we deserve, what we want, what we need, and what we want to create. So this really isn't about an invitation to stepping into your greatness, not letting anybody's story about you become your own reality. And it's about paving your own way. Your past, it's done. It's gone. There's nothing you could do. It's okay to mourn losses. It's okay to feel frustrated. It's okay to feel angry. It's okay to cry. The difference is you don't stay there. You get up as a strong woman and say, I take responsibility for my life. I'm going to create what I want. And this is where I start. And it starts by faith, by declaring who you are and taking massive action.
That's fabulous, Rosie. You know, one of the things I love about your book is that you walk us through some of the relationships that you were in. You talk about your parents and how they raised you with strict rules. You talk about how you dealt with being bullied and facing loneliness that stemmed from your weight. You talk about how you finished high school and you had this small selection of boyfriends, and you talk about what those
Very
relationships
small.
were like. So can you tell us, because relationships are so important to who we are as people, how we
Absolutely.
evolve, how we mature, how we learn to relate to other people because of relationships that we've had in the past. Can you share with us what are some of the takeaways from your relationships about valuing yourself and knowing your self-worth?
The biggest lesson that I learned about relationships are everything in life. They really are. The word relationship is such a powerful, because we all want it, crave it, need it as human beings, that human connection. It's a need. It really is a need. I have some wonderful parents. God bless them. They gave me some valuable lessons. And we always look at children growing up that go through trauma, or children growing up, and you always associate, like, it was the way that they were raised. It was, what lessons did they get? And I learned, my parents taught me some valuable lessons. I rebelled against some of them because, number one, I didn't really date. I did not have the opportunity. I come from a Mexican familia that they're like, no, girl, you are not dating. Like, you don't kiss a boy. A boy courts you, he has to come and ask for permission. And I love the old school values that they had. Why did I rebel against them? Why didn't I really listen to what everything that my parents were saying, and everything that I wanted, what they had? And it all boils down to self-esteem. The relationship that you have with yourself sets precedence to how people will treat you. And because I got bullied so much, and I didn't really share that with my parents, and because I wanted desperately what they had, I just wanted to have a boyfriend. I wanted to get married, have a family, have a business, exactly what my parents had. And I wanted it now. And that meant that whoever gave me love, I would turn into whatever I needed to be to keep that. That means I sacrificed who I was. I didn't even know who I was when I had my first child and my first partner. And I just wanted to be loved. I wanted to be loved. And if that meant that I took in the verbal abuse or the absence, or I didn't pay attention to the red flags, then that's what I tolerated. In life, you get what you tolerate. But the biggest lesson that I've learned is, when you have love and self-respect and you're not walking in fear, then to be able to say, this doesn't serve a purpose in my life. You know what? I don't want to go down. You're not afraid of saying no. There comes this power of saying, you know what? I'm worthy of more. I want more. I deserve more. But when you don't know that about yourself, there's a journey that you walk in, that self-discovery of knowing, that was a painful lesson. I don't want to walk that. And if you don't learn it, you'll go through it 3 times like I did and say, wow, okay, this relationship really keeps popping up in my life. It's a different face every single time. Now I have to reevaluate and take responsibility of what is it that I'm not doing. And the lesson was about learning to love myself, learning to respect myself, learning boundaries, learning how to gracefully say no, and really just understanding that there's value and power in my voice, and that whatever I was told who I was in that moment, that wasn't a reflection of me. That wasn't my truth. I made it my truth. I took personal responsibility for the things that they did when it came to infidelity and so on. But that wasn't for me to take. That was for me just to learn and understand that
Amazing.
I am worthy. I am lovable.
Amazing. Now, so many of our listeners are just like you, single mothers. What is an important lesson that can be gained from being a single mother despite any challenges that you're facing?
Oh my God. Being a single mother. So I'm happily married now. At the age of 40, I'm happily married, and it took me several divorces to understand that in life life mirrors back who we are. And if we don't like what life is mirroring back, that means that we have to do the inner transformation. Our exterior world starts transforming the moment that our interior, the inside of our soul, those scars that nobody sees, when we start looking into that darkness and start transforming it, we allow the healing process to come. And being a single mom for so long, because Grant, I was married and divorced, like these relationships weren't that long. And for the most part, having my children, I was alone. I was by myself a lot. I'm thankful that my dad was always there, but it's not the same of having a husband, a partner there in my mind in those moments. And the lesson is, you have to give it an empowering story. It's not, I'm a single mom, this happened to me. I could tell you how many times I played the victim. I got cheated again. I have my kids. I don't know how I'm going to make ends meet. And you could fall into that story, but how about giving it an empowering truth? I'm a single mom. I went through some tough times, but I learned my lesson. You know what? I'm a powerful woman standing up for my kids, fighting for my dreams. And this moment right now, I don't have a partner. I have my kids, but this is about self-discovery. I'm going to discover who I am, what I love, what my passion is, what I want to manifest in my life, and the lessons as I walk this journey in the ups and the downs, and I fall down and I get back up. These are lessons that I'm teaching my kids. I'm teaching them a valuable lesson of that in life, we will fall down, but it is our choice to stand back up. It's okay to cry. We'll dry those tears off. It's okay to be by myself. There's seasons for everything. This is a season of self-discovery. If you could take this season as a single mom, as a season of self-discovery and work on yourself, the partners will come later. Love will come in the right time, and I promise you. And there's nothing healthier than attracting a partner when you've gone through self-discovery, self-healing, when you're in a place that you love yourself, that having love in your life is an amazing blessing, but it'll come in the right timing. That's not your whole focus. Your focus is about loving yourself, finding purpose, and being a mirror to your kids, showing that to your kids.
So what advice do you have for our viewers and our listeners who want to be on a similar journey as you, that they're lacking self-esteem, but they want to make it to the other side of that? What is the first step that they can take to get to the other side so that they can follow in your footsteps?
Oh my God. Be honest with yourself. Honesty is really important. I think the first thing that you could take that's empowering is to be honest with yourself. It's so easy to play the victim, and I want women to feel empowered. I don't want them to be a victim of their circumstances. I want them to acknowledge what they've gone through, and it doesn't mean that you take the pain away. It's that you acknowledge the pain. Like I've said, it's okay to feel that. That is a human way of mourning a loss, and we all go through that. If you're gonna cry, cry, but then don't stay there. Dry those tears off. What is next? Asking quality questions. What did I learn from that experience? How can I become better? What lessons can I talk to my kids about what I'm going through so they're with me on this journey and they understand? So if one day they go through that, they'll remember as a mom, I remember when my mom went through that. I saw her cry. It hurt. I remember that. But I also saw how powerful my mom was, and she got back up and she started reading books, listening to podcasts. She started journaling, writing down. You have to find a way of letting go those emotions, letting go those thoughts, and finding things that make you happy. If you're interested in discovering yourself, listen to great music, find your passions, read books, listen to podcasts, but ask quality questions. What can I learn from this? And how can I move on to the next step? Walk, exercise, treat your body with love, self-care. Those are all things that are going to make you feel good. And when your cup is full, you could give from a full cup. You cannot give from an empty cup.
I love that. I love that. And so much of what you said has to do with actually training your mind, right? Training your mind to think different thoughts so that you can be better externally.
Can we talk about that inner voice in the back of our head that starts, like, we start second guessing ourselves? So do you ever find yourself that you're like, okay, I've gone through this really bad moment, or I'm going through a divorce and it hurts. And then you're about to take a leap of faith. You're going to take a new course, or you know what, I'm going to start a business. And then you're like, but how am I going to do it? And then that inner voice starts talking to you. It's like, you can't do that. Come on. You don't have the money. You don't have the knowledge. You don't have the schooling. Nobody's going to believe you. You're going to fail. That inner voice starts playing a number on us. And we all have that, whether we acknowledge it or not. We all have that inner voice that plays games on us, or, you know, it starts getting stronger and stronger. And the thing is, you have to tell that voice, you have to say, hold on, shut up. And sometimes I've told myself, because this is something that I've paid attention to, I really am in tune with that. When that pops up, I'm like, you need to be quiet. I'm the one that's in control right now. And I start going with my affirmations. When that voice gets louder and louder, I affirm that I am powerful. I have everything that I need right now. I am perfectly imperfect. My best time is coming. I am lovable. I am worthy. I am going to create the biggest and wildest dreams, and I'm going to manifest them. And as I start doing that and make it a daily practice, let me tell you, that voice starts getting quieter and quieter. And when that voice pops up, you go back into affirming who you are, and you give it directed. You don't let it direct you. You direct that voice.
I love that. I love it. And Rosie, so much of your getting ahead also involved forgiveness. Do you have any advice on how to be able to forgive and let go of hurt from your past?
Forgiveness is something so powerful. Forgiveness, you do it for you. You don't do it for the other person, because if you think that you are going to get an apology, you're expecting an apology from someone that hurt you, you might get it 15 years later, 20 years later. Meantime, you have spent and invested your time waiting, thinking, wondering, with all this anger and anxiety that comes on and off throughout the years. And it's not only wasted time, but also you stop the process of healing. So when you come to a place, the way that I learned to forgive was constantly telling myself that when I felt those emotions of anger, anxiety, when I'd start crying, like literally I would go through moments that I'm good for 2 weeks, and then all of a sudden something would trigger me. A song would come up, memory, something would say something, and I'd start crying uncontrollably. Like my body would just, and then I wanted to close myself up in the room. So what I started doing is I started saying it. I love you, but I let you go. I forgive you, and I forgive myself. And I take a deep breath. And that is just something that I constantly repeated to myself, because I needed to find the healing, and I needed to let that go, and I needed to forgive. And within time, I could tell you how much healthier I was, how much happier I was with that. But that is a learning process. You give forgiveness for yourself, not for the other person. So you allow the healing to happen in your life.
That's amazing, Rosie. You've been a wonderful guest, Rosie. How can our listeners find you and get a hold of your book?
Oh my goodness, you could visit me at Rosie Mercado throughout social media. You could purchase my book wherever you purchase your favorite books, on Amazon, Target, Barnes and Noble. There's so many places that are carrying my book. Go online. It's easy to get. It's The Girl with Self-Esteem Issues. You could also listen to my podcast, The Girl with Self-Esteem Issues. I have it in English and Spanish. All you have to do is find it wherever you listen to podcasts. And of course, we have this book. It's not only in English, it is in Spanish as well, which I'm so excited to honor my Latino roots and be able to share with you guys in both languages. So it's an invitation. If you're feeling fat, ugly, invisible, you're not loving yourself, you feel like you've failed, this is an invitation for you to understand that there's moments in life that we all, as human beings, we all go through those emotions. I know exactly what that means. You have potential. As long as you're breathing, you have purpose. Step into your greatness. And I share my life lessons with you. Hopefully you find your purpose, and just sending you guys so much love. And thank you so much for taking the time to interview me. God bless you. God give you favor and grace.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Rosie, you've been outstanding. Thank you for joining us today and sharing your amazing story of succeeding against the odds.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And to all of our listeners, thank you for tuning in. Until next time, God bless.